What is going on, guys? It's Adam McKay Marf, and tonight's show is going to be great, so stick around. First off, I just want to let you know this is a live show and normally a live call-in show. We may have a guest tonight, so we will be talking about that here in a minute. We will also be talking about many stories, which again, just to make sure you know, nothing in the show should be considered legal, medical, or financial advice. The views of the callers can differ considerably and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of myself, Dex, or anyone else with the show. You should always do your own research and consult professionals. The internet is full of fake news, so please take everything with a grain of salt. With that out of the way, make sure if you're not getting notifications from YouTube or any of the platforms, make sure to get ours. You can go to marfugelnews.com and actually get our push notifications directly from us. In fact, if you're saying, hey, I didn't get notification, well, then make sure to sign up for ours. Again, you won't miss it. And then also sign up for Marfugel email alerts. That is our SHTF system. If something was to happen, we would let you know throughout there. If any of our military groups let us know something that was 100% confirmed, we would use that system, not YouTube. And then again, make sure to go to our website. You can actually see we take the time before every single show to back up everything we say with a source or an article. Again, if you actually go now, it has just recently been updated. Again, there's been a lot of issues with the platform. Just so you know, the entire 3 years that I have been on YouTube, I have never gone under 3,000 plus subscribers a month. Now that sounds like a lot for a small channel, but again, that's something relatively sized. Think about that over 12 months to not gain over 40,000 when we have this kind of people watching is pretty crazy. Now we were at 0 and we were at negative, and then now we're at about 200 a month. So if you can think about that, in an entire year doing a show at this scale, if we gained 1,000 people, that would be kind of a big deal considering we have that many people or 100 people joining per night, which I can see. But then again, that doesn't account for the people that are getting subtracted at the same time. So always make sure to check that subscriber button. Make sure that you are subscribed. You might still see me in your feed or in your browser, but somehow your subscriber is getting taken away. Maybe you haven't watched me in a week. I don't know what they're doing. But again, never have fallen below 2,000, let alone 1,000, let alone 500, down to basically they just won't let us grow at this point. It's happened before. I'm going to truck right through it. But again, remember, we put a lot of work into these shows. We would appreciate if you spread it to as many people as possible. Again, there's an underlying message in every show. We hope that it gets out. Now, if you go to a future water world, a world underwater, you'll see that every single video, every single tweet, every single picture that we show you here today is going to have a home right here on our website. So you can see everything that we have here. And then again, the callers by the end of the show are usually updated here. This, again, may not happen tonight. We have kind of an on-the-fly guest, possibly Wages World. If we don't, again, we are set up for news. So we'll get right into the news after we introduce Dex. Dex is my co-host / internet brother. He is going to be doing all of this on the fly in the behind the scenes. What is going on, Dex, and how are you tonight?
Adam, I'm doing fantastic. Really excited about this show. A lot of great information we got ready for everybody tonight.
So also a part of this is a lot of things have been going weird with loading up lives and things like this. So make sure you spread this out. One thing that you guys can do right now, or actually afterwards, is go back and comment. Comment, whether it's your favorite color, whether it's, your favorite kind of car you drive, or whether you want to just tell me a story about when you were, 22 years old in a bar or somewhere. I don't care. Just comment, because apparently that is helping right now with the current iteration of the roller coaster we call algorithm. All right, now let's get into it. It says SpaceX's $216 million Mars Starship rocket explodes as it misses a landing pad on this first high-altitude test flight. Now, some of you saw this yesterday, and it was pretty grandiose. It said a SpaceX Starship rocket crashed and exploded in a huge fireball on Wednesday after narrowly missing its landing pad. It says dramatic footage shows the unmanned test capsule blowing up as it smashed into the ground, having soared to 40,000 feet. It was a pretty big deal. Here's of course a video of this. Check this out. That is what you call a slow train wreck. Or what SpaceX would call a slight anomaly. Yes, that's right. A slight anomaly. That's what they called the last one. Unfortunately, now they have so many people covering their experiments that they can't call it a slight anomaly. Usually you can see SpaceX's slight anomalies from space, but whatever. Yeah, this looks like it's definitely going to launch by 2024 for sure. All right, moving on. Again, though, one thing was, yeah, Justin says SpaceX giant Starship almost had a good landing. Almost. So pretty crazy stuff there. I'm sure that is quite a setback for, of course, some of the first companies that say that they're going to be bringing tourists into space and bringing people to Mars. So we'll see what happens with that. Speaking of space and crazy history-making space news, this is not only going to be the first female headed off to the moon, or I'm sorry, not to the moon, the first one that is being named, but the actual list for the entire, in fact, the entire list of moon people is actually getting released right now. So this was the main person that they picked out, but what this actually contains is the entire list of the people that are being selected to go to this next moon mission, which you guys know my opinion. If you've watched this for any amount of time, you know that I thought it was absolutely too much that all of the countries all of a sudden started trying to get to the moon. Everybody started moon missions, including like sending their satellite there. You've got all these other countries trying to get to the moon. You've got China, you've got Russia, you've got all these things. All of a sudden, everybody's trying to get to the moon and Mars. Why? We don't 100% know, but I know around that same time they started Space Force. Just a few years ago, they said, oh, yeah, we need a Space Force now. Of course, then they were starting Hayabusa and OSIRIS-REx and all of these weird meteor missions. Starlink was, of course, announced a few years ago, and then all of a sudden, now we realize that Starlink is not just internet, which I said in the beginning, that I believed it was part of a defense system for the planet, that it was some sort of grid defense system. And then, of course, they announced that part of Starlink is actual sensors for incoming objects and hypersonic speed objects, which, aka meteors going 20,000 miles an hour, about the same as some of these hypersonics go. So, what are these things actually for? I don't know. What was Sunspot Observatory? Why was that shut down along with 6 other observatories if it was what they say it was? Why during this entire event, why did a lot of places, a lot of telescopes close down when a lot of power shorted to the car alarms and then reconnected? So I believe, okay, so we are live. I don't know. Dex is disconnected. First of all, how would 2 car alarms exactly on 2 sides of my house end up going off and the power goes completely off? That's what just happened. I don't know if we got that on video, but the feeling of it, because, when the power goes out or when it flickers, usually it doesn't do that. But I don't know if you've ever had all of your electricity go off. I'm sure most of you have. But you can feel it because all that electricity is not running through your house, not running through everything. And electricity, you don't realize that it has a feeling and a sound until it's gone. And that was a spooky. I don't know if the sound picked that up. I wonder if that was just incredibly spooky. It went whew. My heart started over because everything goes off. All my lights around me. It looks like I am streaming again. So I don't know if this started a new stream, if anybody is still here. But I continued. I pushed record just in case. So I did want to show you just a couple hours ago, 6:42, about an hour and a half ago, we had our power flicker. And again, at the same exact time, 2 car alarms went off. And I was sitting outside holding a dead bird that my cat dragged in, and I was going to put it in the garbage. And all of a sudden, you just whoosh. And my wife had my 1-year-old in the bathtub, so it was really scary for her because she's sitting in a dark room with a kid in the bathtub, but it turned right back on. But the freaky part about that, again, was the 2 car alarms at the exact same time going off. And if you can imagine, you're sitting outside after dusk, it's dark, and everything, all the houses went dark. I think this is, I am like 100% sure that this is the solar CME that is coming at us right now. And this is even more reason why everybody should be protecting themselves. Generator and everything else you guys should have. I'm just going to do this early before we might possibly go offline. Go get yourself an EMP shield. Again, you won't regret it. It's a surge protector. It can protect your devices. It's why all my stuff is protected for anything, whether it be a surge, whether it be a CME, or whether it be an enemy EMP. So I hope you guys get this. Again, marfugelnews.com/EMP. This is the same company that is helping DHS, DOD, and now officially on the DEMSO team helping protect the Texas grid. This is no joke. It's Keystone military tested. It's American made. They're bringing more jobs here. So with that out of the way, the show must go on. We need to get Dex back on, though. Dex, are you there? Okay, let me turn this off. I'm gonna go to this real quick. I'm telling you guys, this is a bigger CME than I think they knew about. Hold on here. I gotta do something that you guys can't see here, and try to get back up with Dex. If you are new here, it is normally not anything like this, so I really apologize, and I do appreciate your time and you spending time with me, and I really do appreciate your patience. Okay, so let's see here. And hopefully Dex is watching or in some capacity. Dex, do we have you back?
Adam, what just happened? That was crazy. Was this another one of those events?
Yep. Wow. Again, I called you about the first one. That one, everything went dark. I would love to see. So are we on a second stream right now?
Oh, no. The stream survived. I was able to keep things going in the background. But yeah, everything knocked off, our connection, the streams, everything. But they're still good. We still have just one stream running on YouTube. So we're good.
Now, let me go over and see if I can see the chat. Did you guys see the lights go off or anything, or was it dead before that all showed?
From my perspective, what I saw, and you can see what everybody says in chat, Adam, what I saw was that the stream just cut. It went like streamer offline, at least on the DLive stream.
For me, that just scared the crap out of me. I recorded... from now on, I'm going to start recording every show because that was so spooky. Because both my camera and the computer are both, when the power goes off, they have their own batteries. So technically, but the internet would have went off and taken a few minutes to get back on. So if you guys missed it, though, I'm telling you, this is a bigger CME than I think that they want to really talk about. Could a CME affect a car alarm and stop the power of it and then reconnect it? Would a car alarm go off, just technically? Or was that one of the biggest coincidences ever? There was no delay or anything. There was 2 car alarms that all of a sudden started going off on both sides of my house after the power went out the last time at 6:40. Would that be a CME thing? I'm asking. I'm not an expert. And I didn't know how it would affect cars like that. But I know, and the funny thing is the one alarm sounded really old, like the old style car alarms. So I just wonder, new cars, some new cars, you want to make sure if you even are buying an EMP shield for a car, you want to make sure that it's not a car that there's a batch of newer cars that don't need them, right? So you always want to make sure that before you spend money on something that you have, that you need it. But again, that was spooky as hell. I hope we can get Wages World on here, but if not, we'll make sure to get him on tomorrow. I just had a bad feeling about tonight's stream. I am hoping that this thing doesn't hit us full on super hard. Okay, sorry guys, and sorry for those that are new here. I apologize. Venice. So, okay, let's get back into it. So, Venice flooded, but this isn't just, this is the dam, right? So, this, I guess the first thing Dex said, I said, I asked him to add this story, and he goes, you realize that's just the dam, right? And I say, yeah. But here's the thing, Venice is actually sinking at what is it, 1 millimeter a year? It's at an alarming rate that Venice is, the water is rising around Venice. And Venice is one of the most historic places in the world, has some of the most beautiful buildings, and it's basically going to be underwater in a few years here. Is that right? 1 millimeter a year?
Yeah, it's a millimeter a year. And then you got to factor into that the different seasons with the changes of the tide, like the high tides when they're really higher, and they can ebb and flow throughout the year, right? So you have higher water levels sometimes. You can even have higher water levels over the decade. And we talk, of course, plenty of people talk about it in other subjects, around climate, but, water levels do and have adjusted, whether it's up or down, and probably more people talk about them going up over time. So you compound the water level of the ocean changing even in a small amount, and the city itself over years, which has been there for centuries, right? Sinking, they have this problem. So they built this elaborate dam water system to try to help control that water and keep it out. And
$8 billion
it failed.
$8 billion.
Yeah, they had the high tide. One of the highest tides, I think, was coming through, and it failed miserably.
Now there's something to say about these changing tides as well with the moon. The moon is slowly drifting away, and the scientists say that the moon will never just drift all the way because there's some sort of formula. Once it drifts far enough away, then the gravity pull or something, it equals out and it won't go any further because of something. You have to Google that most likely, but they say it won't. Basically, they say it won't go and just keep drifting away until it's gone. But some say that the moon, if we lose the moon, if a giant meteor hits that and not us and destroys the moon, they say that our entire planet would go haywire because the moon helps control the tides and everything else. And some say the sky has already changed. The Inuit elders, who historically have been absolutely amazing forecasting, they have gone off of old school ways, looking at the sky, actually marking the sky and looking at what's going on. And both sides of Canada in the Arctic regions, all the way on one side and all the way on the other, have both said that the sky has changed, that everything is in new positions. And they're not saying that for the last couple years. They're saying, their ancestors have watched and recorded this over centuries. And they're saying that now it has changed. Something has gone on. They say the world has shifted. So something is going on.
That's an important part there, Adam, I think about, because I'm not a physicist and I don't know all of the mechanics of this, but I sort of simplified in my head. I know the gravity of the moon affects the movement of the tidal waves, right? And when you think about a swimming pool from the shallow end to the deep end, if the moon was affecting that wave to move back and forth from the center of the shallow end to the center of the deep end, and all of a sudden the earth is shifted, which the elders were saying, well, then maybe that pull from the moon is going to make it a little bit diagonally instead of straight across, right? So now the highest point in that high tide might actually be a different spot in the world. So I wonder if that's part of what we're seeing, or if that is something we're going to see if this happens, because if we shift and that shift changes the gravitational pull on where the center points are in this tidal wave, that would be really profound as to how it would affect different parts of the earth.
Because historic Venice is underwater, but this isn't the only place. They say places of Florida will be underwater. They say in our lifetime we will see places that are no longer above water. Which is pretty crazy. And then, of course, there's people that argue about cooling and heating and warming. I'm not here to argue about that. What I am saying is we have heard from our sources and some of our military sources that they have, they're mapping things, that they're changing things in their future handbooks, and they are trying to change their strategics as far as how. So think of it this way. if you have a shape of a country and you have borders, you are going to plan your drills and your exercises based on those borders and how you would defend that country. Well, down to the basics, if you were going to defend a future place, they're looking at where it will be and trying to plan ahead. So there's, of course, the new Navy map, which some argue, oh, that's a fictitious map from here or there. Some argue that that was actually leaked and that is a real prediction of where we will be, as far as some of the coastline will be gone. We will have water all the way up the middle of the country. The country will be split in two because of water levels. And it's not crazy to think about if you believe what they say, where we were Pangea and then the continents moved and spread out. Several big earthquakes could bring continents together. Earthquakes, subduction zones in particular, these are the kind of earthquakes that are 9.0, last 5 minutes long and create mountains. So we just haven't lived through some of the craziest stuff. And some say that we are going to, in this lifetime, see places underwater that are right now, tourist attractions or places where people live. And slowly that we are going to lose chunks of our world and gain others. So other places will rise. We'll have places that are now underwater turn into islands, and places that are, off the coastline all of a sudden raised up, and then other places where, of course, they will be sinking. So in our kids and our grandkids' lives, they're going to see different continents. That is the firm belief of a lot of our military folks that have dealt with planning and logistics. Because think about it, they actually pre-plan logistics and things like this, and they also pre-plan, warfighting techniques based on the geography. And if the geography is going to change, then they have to have some of the smartest minds in the world go in there and actually say, hey, we might have to change this plan in about 5 years. We might have to change this in 12 years or 11 years or 10 years. Thank you. The truth is out there for 5 subscriptions to the channel. Thank you for giving out the Marfia badge to 5 folks. Thank you. And they're lucky. Awesome. What was that, Dex?
Hey, Adam, I was going to say, didn't we just report about Mount Everest growing?
And
if you, yeah, it was a lot too.
By
but
meters.
You think about it, if that mass actually grows, it has to come from somewhere. So something else has to go down. There's only so much mass and matter on our Earth, right? It's not like we are creating things. So if that's going to shift up, something from below went lower, something sunk.
So
right?
You guys see what I mean? I mean, it wasn't 2 days ago. It was 2 days ago we reported on the fact that Mount Everest is now a different height. Some say it's the argument of, they measured it different. I mean, this is like 12 feet or 14 feet or something. It was a difference of like 8 meters or 16 feet or more than that. Could be 20 feet. I don't know. I know that it was at least
the point,
a few.
But there's a whole lot below it, right? It's like the iceberg. It's not the tip of the iceberg. Just because the tip goes up 6 feet, there's that entire base below that mountain that is massive. If that whole thing has lifted up and made that point higher, because that's what it has to do, right? That whole thing has to come up. That's huge.
That's
a lot of mass.
That's freaky. Think about that. Continents are moving, things are shifting. Also, if the Cascadia subduction zone is locked and loaded, the Cascadia subduction zone is going to essentially change the West Coast. It's going to change people's lives and the lack thereof, because a lot of people are going to perish when Cascadia subduction zone happens. Not only is it going to be a 9.0 earthquake that will shake not only Seattle, but Portland, but California, you will feel it across the country. They will feel it 3,000 miles away. You will feel a slight tremor in New York. You will definitely feel it in Montana or in Utah or Nevada. The Arizona 22 states now are preparing for the Cascadia subduction zone. But you say, well, Adam, the Cascadia subduction zone is only supposed to be an earthquake along the West Coast. That's 3 states. Oh, well, why are 22 states preparing? Well, that's because it's going to be so ginormous that they expect people to be walking from California, that they expect people to be walking from Washington, walking from Oregon. Imagine thousands of people with whatever they could grab on them, any supplies they had, walking east. Away from, 1, torn up, everything is crumbled, but 2, All of the roads, all the overpasses are down. This is a 5-minute earthquake that not only that is happening right off the coast and will guarantee cause a huge, huge tsunami. So besides Venice and places like this, people say, oh, well, the dam messed up. Well, why do you think they need the dam? That they need the dam because Venice's water is rising by 1 millimeter a year. I mean, that's a huge amount. In sea level, that makes a difference they're walking around Venice with waist-high water on a high tide. This wasn't a flood this is just high tide. So pretty big stuff here. And this is just a tiny bit of it. Our planet is going to change in our lifetime, and we're going to see this. And now we have the technology and we have the communication to understand, to see it in real time. So we're going to see things and go, whoa, I can't believe this. But this kind of thing has happened for thousands of years. We just never kept track of it. We're like, oh, well, that place, it doesn't exist anymore. Stormy7572 says, good evening, all Fugel fam. Blessings and love. Thanks again. The truth is out there for gifting out Marfia badges. Release the Quacken, I saw that as well, gifting a subscription. Veteran Steve gifting a Marfia badge. Lisa K, thank you for gifting out subs. And then, of course, we have Lady G476, thank you so much for the diamond. And Laddie26, thank you for the Ninja Genie. Massive support, second highest compliment on DLive. Thank you so much. And then Defiant 1969 says, Ferret Dad here, doing a great job. Keep it up. Doing this for Coda Bear, my ferret, who just passed away today. Defiant 1969, I am so sorry. I don't know if I've ever told you, but I used to have 3 ferrets. And we kept them until the last one died, and they were awesome. Smartest animals ever. I'm so sorry. And thank you for the massive support. But again, should almost be doing something special for yourself today. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and I completely understand. I had 3 ferrets, and they were just absolutely genius. Smartest animals out there. Antonio Griffa, thank you for subscribing. Gothnak, thank you as well. Steady Rock, thank you as well for welcome all these new people. Steady Rock, Grothnak, Antonia Griffa, and Chatty Brat, thank you, and welcome to the Fugel fam. We, of course, I see people subscribing the whole show, and I don't know how that number doesn't go up more. It's crazy. Really, really, thank you, says, I appreciate you this week, and this shows. My dad passed, tremendous sorrow, lost my best friend. Really, really, I'm so sorry for your loss. Again, if everybody could pray for Really, Really and his dad and the loss of his dad, that's incredibly, there's nothing like it. So I can't say... I can't say I don't relate, though. I lost both my parents very young. So, Susan Donahue, dear Adam Dex, Mod Squad, and Fugel fam, so grateful for each and every one of you. Hashtag Team Humanity. Well, thank you, Susan Donahue. Thank you, and thank you. The Z Phase, I know this is off topic, but I wanted to shout out rest in peace for Brandy Vaughn, founder of, quote, Learn the Risk. Z-Phase, I'm so sorry. I don't know who that is, but I will look into it. Liz Gaspari, thank you from Gaspari Nutrition, says, move, Marf, move your lips. All right, and then Sean Kuhn, thank you, and welcome to the Fugel fam. Just joined. Strawberry, Donna Hewitt, and Helpful Angel Dre. Thank you guys all for being a part of it and just joining us. What do you guys think about the water rising? Do you think that new Navy map that we've shown you many times, do you think that that's actually real? Do you think that we are going to see that in our lifetime? Do you think there is going to be some sort of event that happens out of nowhere and we get hit in the side of the head with it and is going to change our planet? Let's see here. Hello, Kelly. I'm hoping you're having a good day here. America Mindbender, I'm here for the music. That's awesome. My father passed October 1st. I'm so sorry. Rizar, nice to see you. Gina Pullman. School, we've got little Stumpy. What the F Squash? Yes, it will happen before 2022. Projected Real X marks the spot. So there's actually a lot of people that believe that stuff will happen in the next 4 years. Pole flip, my friend, pole flip. Who was that? That was Bryce Curb. Future Navy map is what the world's going to look like after Nibiru passes, says JP Pizzle. One Mommy One, there is a rain event that happened in 1800 that caused major West Coast flood. D Truth says global methane is the elephant in the room. We've got Twisted Luck Truth. I believe within 6 months, this is going to be totally different. Tim Owen says Earth flip. Philifan, I live in Pacific Northwest. No electrical issues here. Again, I would probably go look at the local power companies. I bet you right now. In fact, Dex, why don't you can you look at Washington and see if anybody's out as far as the state? And that's what's crazy is it went right back on. These are little surges. Let's see here. Lou Gluin. We have next 4 years will wreak havoc, says America. I bet. Well, it depends, I guess. Michigan. Oh, so bad. Let's see here. Did get a bunch of research on pole shift. That was Mrs. Marf. What's going on? My wife is in the chat. Wasn't that crazy? That was just like out of nowhere. Amazon's new health band is the most invasive tech we've ever tested. Amazon has a new health tracking bracelet with a microphone and an app that tells you everything that's wrong with you. It says you haven't exercised or slept enough, reports Amazon's $65 Halo band. Your body has too much fat, and the Halo app shows in 3D rendering of your near-naked body. And even your tone of voice is, quote, overbearing or irritated, the Halo determines after listening through its tiny microphone on your wrist. Wow. It says, hope our tone is clear here. We don't need this kind of criticism from a computer. It says the Halo collects most of its intimate information we've seen from a consumer health gadget, and it makes the absolute least use of it. This wearable is much better at helping Amazon gather data than helping you get healthy and happy. It says since August, the Halo has been listed by Amazon as, quote, an early access product that requires an invitation to buy. An invitation. That's scary. It says it will cost $100 plus a 4 monthly fee once it's sold widely. We're reviewing the Halo now because Amazon's first digital wellness products offers a glimpse of how one of the tech's most influential companies thinks about the future of health. And what better to do when we're lonely during a pandemic than have an always listening device point out our flaws? Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos owns the Washington Post, but we review all technology with the same critical eye, which is, it's actually kind of funny because this is the Washington Post talking about their bosses or their owner's device. It says, late to the fitness tracker market dominated by the Apple Watch and Fitbit, the fabric-colored Halo has no screen, no sounds, no vibrations, and no design innovation. It's like competitors. It contains sensors and monitors physical activity, heart rate, sleep, and skin temperature. A companion phone app is the only place to see what has learned. It says, but the Halo pushes into uncharted territory by also collecting new, unabashedly invasive kinds of personal information, including body photos and voice recordings, and then feeding it into Amazon software for analysis. They're going for AI doctor or at least life coach. So, okay, first off, wow. And it even does the things like when it hears your tone, it says it described Jeffrey's tone with words like opinionated, well, it was more likely to flag the tone of Heather, a mom of two, as dismissive and even condescending. So it's actually listening to people and telling them how they sound. I mean, this is like disturbing. And through the pictures and through everything, it's going to map your body, like it said, near nakedness. This is a product that's going to be just all over the place now. And I'm telling you, this is where everything goes. When Amazon does something or any of these others, it's not like they put it out and it's a flop. They don't flop. The reason why with Google and all of these is they push it so hard that it's accepted as norm. Why? Because they have social media and everything to back them as well. So they make things that normally people would go, this is, who would want that? For example, there was a phone that just came out by Huawei before this ban or whatever, and it had a special camera. It was just like the back of anybody's phone. It had 4 cameras or whatever, but one of them was this special color tone camera. And what this color tone camera did was make these weird, it was almost like a permanent filter. It's like if you've ever gone to Instagram and flipped through the filters, it was like this ugly black and white weird colored filter, and it looked ugly and nobody would ever just take pictures with it. Well, one thing they found out is that if you looked at clothing, it could basically look through it. You could see almost a nude shape of a body with this special filter. Especially anything that was a little bit lighter clothing, it could see through. So if it was looking at a woman, obviously it could see that. If a woman wasn't wearing a brassiere, you could see that. If they weren't wearing something, even if it was colored, this special lens did that. Well, that flopped, and they were like, let's get rid of this, and it's just gone. That's a technology that's invasive, and it's just like, that. Who would want that? But with this, they could do this and then put a spin on it and make it sound like it's convenient and say, well, nobody's going to see it except for AI. And then this all goes to databases. They're using these databases to not only profile everything you do mentally, but now they're going to profile you physically. They are going to profile you exactly how you eat, how you do it, everything. And they're going to get you down so much. And you're thinking, well, I don't use Amazon. Well, guess what? Amazon owns all these other companies that you do use. And all of a sudden, all of these other companies are selling you. And on your phone and any social network that you use, you don't realize it. You think your phone is listening to you, which actually they still haven't proved that it hasn't. It's so good that, you'll talk about the 1982 baseball card of Jared Beckett. And then all of a sudden an ad for a 1982 Jared Beckett card pops up on your Facebook, and you're like, it's listening to me. But as we've actually shown you, it might not actually be listening to you. It's getting your profile down so hard that it knows you exactly. That's how scary this stuff is. It doesn't even have to listen anymore. It's predicting your next thought. And people don't think that this is real. This is happening. And it doesn't. And now, alongside with everything else that's going on, they're going to have us down where they need us. We're going to think that everything is being done to help us and to protect us and to save us, when really this is to control. In the bottom right-hand corner, that's what they think we are. So just remember that, it's scary stuff. I don't want this thing. I don't want anything like it. All right, and then Alexa is not allowed in my house, says Candace Thigpen. I don't blame you. Yeah, it's pretty freaky stuff. Crazy Clayton, what's going on? Annette LaPow, thank you. Mary Tyndall, Bluegrass, great question. Remember, by the way, if there is any kind of troll, remember to talk to them. And ask them how their day's going and what's going on, and try not to trigger. Again, I've reminded you guys a lot that some of the trolls that we consider trolls are either newer, but also some of my best people that have been here for 3 years used to be trolls. So just remember, somebody might be having a bad day. They might have just a crappy life going on right now, and we've all been there, and we've all snapped at people we didn't, that didn't deserve it. So remember to have patience. All my mods know that. My mods are awesome. And if my mods do end up muting you or something like that, it's because you've probably broken one of the golden rules or something. They don't take offense to it. They just move on. After 5 minutes, you come back in. Nobody else notices, by the way. Everybody's always offended because they're an adult and they get muted and they have to go on a rampage after that. If you just continue like nothing happened, nobody even notices. U.S. B-52 bomber fly to Middle East in mission to deter Iran. It says, in a new show of military might, 2 American Boomer aircraft took off from the United States and flew over a swath of the Middle East on Thursday, sending what U.S. officials said was a direct message of deterrence to Iran. Now, remember, we took out several of their people, starting with Soleimani, and actually, I don't know if Soleimani was the first. Just to remind you, Soleimani, they said in public, the DOD and the president said that Soleimani planned something like 2001 on a grand scale, something that was so massive that none of us would ever see it coming. They took him out with either a drone something, I think it was a drone strike or something else. It was probably from space or something. That attack succeeded. But just remember, that day, they went for him and his second-hand man. That regime looked up to Soleimani. A lot of people hated him, but there was a huge group of people that was a national hero to them. The second-hand man, the right-hand guy to Soleimani, survived his attack. So at the same time, they did it simultaneously. They got Soleimani. They didn't get his partner. And they said they went after Soleimani because he had a plan against the United States that was beyond 10 times 2001. 10 times, nothing that anybody could ever imagine. Horrific. That's still around. Then, just recently, we took out 2 or 3 more people. I believe 2 more people. And a nuclear scientist with a satellite-controlled machine off the back of a truck that zoomed into his face, and his wife was right next to him and wasn't affected. Crazy stuff. So just keep this in mind when all of this stuff is going on. There's some massive stuff going on, and we get the kind of, fluff story about it. Meanwhile, they are most likely in the Situation Room every other day with some sort of huge thing, and we don't even know it. There could be planetary catastrophes almost every other day. We wouldn't know it. Cover up, cover up, cover up. It says the flight of the 2 massive B-52 Stratofortress boomers over the region is the second such mission in less than a month and designed to underscore America's continuing commitment to the Middle East, even as President DT's administration withdraws thousands of troops from Iraq and Afghanistan. It says the long-range heavy boomers, which are capable of carrying both conventional and nuclear, are a formidable sight and are found less frequently in the Middle East than smaller combat aircraft. It says, such as American fighter jets, adversaries often complain about bomber flights in their region, deeming them a provocative show of force. So when you see those big-ass boomers going over, that's kind of freaky. Imagine if you live there as just a regular civilian. That plane, holds nuclear boomers. That would be pretty freaky. Think about it. If I was in Afghanistan and saw Russian nuclear bombers going over, I would probably be like, that's kind of freaky. What do you guys think as far as what is going on over there? Again, just to remind you guys, if you do want to protect yourself against cyber threats, I would highly recommend a VPN of any kind, but NordVPN, who we represent, is one of the best out there. It's one of the highest rated in the world. It is also one of the most popular as well. It is a virtual private network, and it's one of the easiest to use. If you don't know how to use computers or you're not good at them at all, it's okay. Once you go to marfugalnews.com/VPN, you download it, get a huge discount with the code Marfugal, help the show, and then there's an auto mode. You just turn it off or turn it on. You can use it on your phone, on your laptop, on your kid's phone, your kid's laptop. If you're using Wi-Fi in public, it's a must. You should have a VPN. If you don't go with somebody else and you do end up going through us, it helps the show and you get a giant discount. So it's kind of a win-win for everybody. Again, that's marfugalnews.com/VPN, NordVPN. Again, that's savings code Marfugal. Thank you guys in advance for helping. Dex, any luck with wages? I know that it was kind of hit or miss tonight because of some stuff that was going on.
Not yet, Adam. I'm still working on it though.
Okay, no
Fingers
problem.
crossed.
And then we have Vladimir Putin set to receive lifetime immunity, protecting him from prosecution once he leaves office. Sounds familiar from some of the headlines we've recently seen. It says Vladimir is set to receive lifetime immunity, which will protect him from prosecution outside of his time in office. If you guys don't know this, Vladimir he did some really horrible stuff. People say, oh, well, you say Russia's this bad and this bad. I've even seen people that kind of say, Russia's not as bad as they say. You're going. I actually think that I'm, quite restrained. If you know the real truth behind what Vladimir's done, I guess my point is that almost every U.S. president has done similar things, but we just don't know about it. With Vladimir, we know innocent people lost their lives, like horribly, horrific. There was a bunch of stuff when he was coming to power. He did some straight up KGB stuff to get there. If you don't know the full story behind Vladimir, I highly recommend looking into it. And that's even from their side. Their books about him and their information and their public information is pretty insane. Of course, he's taken out people he doesn't like all over the place. The crazy and sad thing is so is our government. Our president, no matter who it was, has made decisions left and right to take people out. Imagine that, being in a position where you actually decide you're judge and jury, and it's all secret. You send an agent, you send somebody who legally kills somebody. Isn't that nuts? The spy movies are real, and in some cases, it's actually in real life, it's crazier than what happens, because in real life, it's a real set of coincidences that equal these crazy things. If you've ever heard, you've seen these things on TV about real stories, and you're just like, how can this be? Where somebody gets struck by lightning twice. This kind of stuff happens in real life, and it's happening all the time, and they don't think we're smart enough to hear about it. Again, they believe we are, black sheep. So we have, no idea what's going on as far as mainstream media doesn't tell you nothing. It's all owned by families, and their main goal is to make more money, more money, more money. It's not to let you know about all the stuff that's going on. With this, I don't think he's going to go out of power. I don't think he's going to go out of power at all. And if it does get to that point, he's going to be in power. He's just going to be right behind the guy who is in power. And the guy who is in power is going to be a puppet. Putin is too smart and too in charge to not be in charge. Chinese Xi Jinping, he put himself and made himself change things so he would be the emperor for life. He's basically the leader for the rest of his life. That's the kind of power these two countries have. With Russia, again, this is totally different there. It's so weird because you think of these as, they're civilized. Everybody has cell phones. Everybody has everything. It's not like a third world country, but yet the control structure is so different. Bones 555311. Thank you for giving me a visual image that I just can't get out of my head now. Thanks. Let's see here. The Outdoors, stay indoors, says Applebus. They are all sociopaths, says Life is Better on Stilts. I believe you on that. Putin is Julius Caesar reincarnated, says Moses Smith. A Hobbit, says Sheeple. Putin is a puppet, says I, Human. Hazily Dreamer. Obama still has power. Yeah. He didn't really use any power when he was in presidency, huh? The elite smell like kitty litter, says On a Mission. That's great. And then Dean McEnd, thank you so much for subscribing. Stonemaster Kevin from Canada says, hey, buddy, trying to call in. Don't know how it keeps going on answer machines. I have something to talk about. You want to hear this. Stonemaster Kevin, we're not taking calls tonight, as I announced in the beginning. But we can get you on tomorrow. Let's see here. The Z Phase, actually, I should say tomorrow's Unidentified Fridays. So if not, we can get you on the next regular call-in show. The Z Phase, thank you so much for your support again. And then if I am missing something, it looks like it disconnected from YouTube again, or at least my part of it. So Dex, if you can, check on that. And then Man-Made Mass. And what's so funny is I read this 50 times. Man-made mass now outweighs life on Earth. How weird. It says, for the first time in history, man-made materials now likely outweigh all life on Earth. Scientists said Wednesday in research detailing a, quote, crossover point at which humanity's footprint is heavier than all that of the natural world. The weight of roads, buildings, and other constructed or manufactured materials is doubling roughly over every 20 years. And authors of the research said it currently weighed 1.1 teratons, or 1.1 trillion tons. It says, as mankind has ramped up its insatiable consumption of natural resources, the weight of living biomass, trees, plants, and animals have halved since the agricultural revolution to stand at just 1 teraton currently, the study found. So, Dex, here's another thing. What if the planet, supposedly is this thing, what if you put so much weight on one side or the other that it makes it spin lopsided or something?
I think that's an interesting point. If you literally could mine material from one location and move it to another, significant amounts to another part, but I sort of look at the stat, and while it's really fascinating when you think about just the whole nature of the fact that we've built enough man-made stuff that it outweighs all the living stuff on Earth. On the flip side, it's like, okay, well, we didn't create this out of thin air. We actually, when you build a brick wall, it's because you dug up a bunch of, rock and you crushed it and added it with water and you made a brick wall. So you just moved the rock from the ground into a better form in a wall. So it's not, it's not like we're necessarily displacing or bringing something onto Earth that wasn't here. We're creating things from what's here on Earth. But the point you're making is, could you, in theory, mine a whole bunch of heavy material from Asia and move it to, South America or North America, and would that change, the makeup of the Earth? I think that would have to be a lot of material for that to happen. And that we tend to use the material that's local in those regions because shipping that kind of material is expensive.
Well, what if we were creating something? Is there anything where we change the weight, like something chemically? So you're trying to. It's like trying to think of it. So yes. So if you took all the brick or limestone, say you make a slab of limestone, you take that limestone and then you move that to somebody's kitchen. Or you take granite from one location and you do a quarry and you take all that and then it goes and gets spread out all over the place. But what about if you made a plastic, or they printed a liquid plastic that not only got hard when it dried, but also gained weight, like the molecular structure of it changed to where it weighed, it started out as 1 ounce, but when oxygen and everything mixed in with it, it was heavier. Is there anything like that, I wonder? Because if you think about it, everything is here on Earth. It's not like we're grabbing stuff from other planets and adding it to our planet. Plastic is made from something all these things are made from things that are already here. It's it's just crazy. Nobody ever thinks about this kind of stuff unless it's for a study of some sort. But, this stuff doesn't come from, out of thin air, like you said.
And it all recycles back too. I mean, I think maybe the biggest example of something we might move a lot of would be oil, right? Which you make plastics and other things from. But I think, even though we ship that around and move it around, when it does get consumed, it gets burned up, but it creates back into other molecules that are part of Earth, and then they recycle into other things, right? Sometimes they don't recycle into things we like, but actually sometimes they do. Carbon dioxide is good for trees, right? And plants.
Well, definitely. As far as this goes, if you want to read the rest of this article, you can go to marfugalnews.com. Mandy Ribby, thank you so much for subscribing. Tasha Stevens, guys, welcome Tasha Stevens. Dwayne Johnson Jr. If you are The Rock's son, I would hope that you would tell him to watch our show. One Hollingberry, thank you for subscribing. Dean McKean, thank you so much, and welcome to the Fugel fam. All right, and then She's Our Miracle. The Minnesota teacher donated a kidney to the school's custodian. The dictionary definition for the word custodian is someone who had responsibility or for looks after something. This past summer, one fortunate Minnesota grade school custodian learned that there was an unexpected custodial someone who was not looking out for him, but destined to save his life. So what ended up happening here is they found out that this custodian, who everybody loves, had an issue, and he needed a kidney transplant, and like right away. It says Patrick Martins was in a dire need of a kidney transplant. The generous staff at Kimball Elementary School had already spearheaded fundraisers to help him pay for ongoing dialysis treatment. Even with their aid, Martin's condition continued to deteriorate. His daughter Kayla posted a Facebook plea for potential donors to come forward. Someone did, and the someone was someone they knew, third grade teacher Kimberly Elementary teacher Aaron Durga. Durga and Martins were more than just nodding acquaintances. In addition to working at the same school, Durga's 3 children attended the daycare facility run by Martin's wife, Linda. So this is another example of someone going above and beyond, giving a part of themselves, finding out that they're a match, and actually donating an actual organ to somebody that is just right there. This is, I really wish there were more people like this woman, and I hope that, you know, her story ends up inspiring others to do the same, especially if it's something like this where it saves somebody's life. It's pretty incredible. So on that note, I do want to remind you, I'm asking everyone this season, especially for the kids or anyone who is really hard up on top of the pandemic and everything else. It is, of course, the Christmas season, which just because it's Christmas doesn't mean anything. But on top of this, there are kids and children that have, you know, this is their life. They don't know anything else. My 5-year-old was so excited for 2 years to go to school, and the only school she's ever experienced is on a computer screen. She hates it, like a lot of other kids. I can't imagine what children are going through with everything that's going on right now. Seeing my 1-year-old, who's a year and a half, doesn't know what it's like to live without masks. She wasn't even old enough to. I mean, she couldn't even roll over when we started wearing masks. Think about what they're growing up into, and think about how hard that is already. Then think about Christmas, and think about all these things that are happening that are just messed up. This last Thanksgiving, families didn't meet. I mean, who knows how many people ended up, you know, having family members that died and they didn't visit them because of this whole thing. I just feel really sad for that. My family wasn't included on that because, yeah. But on top of everything else, I hope that all of you guys are trying to go out. I've already gotten tons of messages. Some people are sponsoring. One woman said that she was sponsoring her 2 nieces. One person said that she was sponsoring her friend's kids. Basically, you know, and she said one of them was very generous. She said that $200 each to her, I believe, nieces or something like that. And I was like, wow, that's incredible. $200 for a person each. That's huge. Think about the Christmas a kid would have. Or even $100 for their parents, or $150 for their parents and $50 for Christmas, or $20, or just a single thing. Somebody said, oh, well, they don't need more plastic or toys or whatever. But honestly, look at what kids are going through right now. Dinner, food. If you can make somebody, you know, some food, that's something that you can do. If you can help anybody in your family, you know, we don't have to go to a third world country to start helping people. We've got people right here that are hurting, that are hungry. There's people down the street. There's homeless people right here. There's people that are struggling right now. So the more that we do, just each one of you can make a difference. So I can't stress that enough. All right, and let's see here.
Hey, Adam, there's also good, if you can't find people, you know, locally, there's also organizations too. And there's some good ones out there, like the Marine Corps Toys for Tots. That's one we help with every year, not only creating opportunities to gather and get toys for kids, but going and helping sort and pack and create that so that you can create those experiences for the children.
And again, there's you got to always look up every charity that you ever give to, because there's a lot of charities that have had scandals in the past and things like this. That's why I automatically don't trust anything until I do research on it and make sure that they haven't had anything like they found out certain charities, it was like 1% of the actual money was going to the cause and the rest was going back into the company, and they were non-profit. But of course, a non-profit can set the scale of what they pay their CEO and what they, the salaries they set. And it's like the guy was making $4 million a year and stuff. And the whole year they got like, what was it? Like 10 million in donations. It's like, that means 40% of it's going to you. Just horrible stuff like that. Make sure you research every charity you help. Baldy
Yeah,
Lux.
absolutely, Adam. That helps. It helps a lot too if you can actually be involved, because it helps you get access to what's actually going on. Excuse me, as opposed to just throwing money at it, right? A lot of times you throw money and you just don't know really what happens. But if you can get involved with those local charities, you can actually help make a difference.
Well, let's be real too. If you give $20 to a homeless person, they could spend it on drugs or they could spend it on food. You could give $20 to your cousin and they could spend it on drugs or be on food. But when you give somebody an actual item or a gift card that can only be used that way, that's one good thing to do too. For food, I don't know how many people have had somebody say, "Hey, do you have a $1 for food?" and go, "Hey, I'll get you a sandwich." No, I want $1. Okay, you don't want a sandwich. Can you be real with me and say, "Hey, I need $1 for a beer"? I'd much rather give $1 for somebody if they tell me the truth than, lie. Anyways, but Baldy Locks Awake says, our house has the CV. Please pray for Jen Lay Awake and our family. We are good for now. I have a feeling you guys will be great, and I am praying for you. Again, Jen just went through her cast and everything else. I don't know if she had her cast off yet, but gosh, you guys, just one thing after another. I'm sorry. Baldy Locks and Jen Lay Awake, love you guys, and thank you so much for being here. At least you have the show to watch while you're at home. But I am sure I just have a really good feeling about you guys being okay. MRSA1, thank you so much for your massive support. You're always you've been on the leaderboard multiple times. Thank you. Labamba BB, Laddie26, thank you again. I appreciate it. A Yakstar, sorry I haven't been here for lives dealing with numerous family deaths. So glad to catch you live. Much love, Marv. A Yakstar, I am so sorry to hear that. It seems like it's just everybody is dealing with stuff right now. The truth is out there. It says power outages in Washington State, according to PSE map. One thing whenever we talk about anything, people are like, well, I still have power, so it doesn't exist. Or I didn't see it, so it doesn't exist. Like the 911 outages. It was reported nationwide, but that day I said 911 went down. Well, we didn't have any problems with 911. Well, okay. Did you call 911? No, but we didn't have any. Okay. Microsoft Office 360 down. Outage nationwide. But I got it. I got 360 right now. I'm playing with Word. I'm right on Word right now. Doesn't exist. See that? That's Word. That's Excel. I excel at correcting you. And then we have the truth is out there. Team Jesus, pay it forward, Fugel fam. Exactly. We need a pay it forward slogan here.
There's a jet in the building.
Oh, goodness. Somehow I am missing it here. Why does it do that? I can't see it. So, Dex, you will have to read it. I don't know why I can't see it.
Yeah, no problem, Adam. So, Jocelyn. Love it, Jocelyn. It's so awesome of you. The message is, it's time we stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. I got to join the club. Love the Fugel fam. Want to help build.
Okay, Dex, but you're going to have to redo that one more time, but sing it.
I knew you were going to say that. All right, it's time. Hey, stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Is that a little better? Johnson, you're awesome though. Thank you.
Is Johnson already on the board? Because that would be number 16 if they aren't.
I want to say Johnson's on the board. I have to look. But nonetheless, 16 is the next number.
So Ninjet is the highest compliment you can pay somebody on DLive. Johnson, that will make you 16 if you're not already on that board. I feel like you are. If not, you didn't do it all together like that. You've done that, I guarantee, on at least one show or not. So thank you so much. Now it pops up, of course. Thank you, and thank you, Johnson. I appreciate that. Don't know why it didn't pop up like that. It's weird. It's time. Stop. Okay, there we go. Geisy, Gem, thank you. Jeep71, Diamond 707, and then Fazako, thank you for gifting out 5 Marfia badges. Not much. HBU, thank you for the sub. Now, I'm going to read this comment. Stonemaster Kevin says, please look into this and you're going to see what I'm talking about. This was on CBC News. Former Israeli space security chief says aliens are real and President T-Man knows about it. It just typing online what I just wrote. So Stonemaster Kevin, that's why I said that was we actually covered that in length about 2 or 3 days ago. So again, go check back and look at our show. I think 2 or 3 days ago, but we actually had a whole thing about that. So make sure to check that out. You can go to marfugelnews.com and check out the previous show on that. So yes, totally know about that. That is really shocking stuff, isn't it? Isn't that crazy? All right, and then let's see here. If you go to the website, it's a world underwater. It feels like we're having some weird things here. The internet's going weird. I keep seeing the frames go down. Okay, so when you click on this, you'll be able to go. But just a couple days ago, Unidentified in the Sky, maybe? Or Surprise in the Sky. All of the shows are here. You're going to end up seeing that. And you can go, and I think it was this one, Joker Slip Up. No, I know. It was the show before this. But you can look, and you can line it up, and you can go look at all of the previous articles there. Yeah, so it's going to be the show before Joker Slip Up. Anyways, you guys have a ton of information there. You guys can go and check that out. Again, I hope you guys all go to the website to look at this stuff. See, look at this. This was about 3 shows ago. Former head of IS space program. The aliens asked not to be revealed. Humanity not yet ready. Isn't that freaking nuts? The things that are coming out right now are just absolutely crazy. We are in, I would say, the craziest time in history, and we're alive for this. So, very awesome time in history to be alive. Absolutely crazy. Thank you for all the new subscribers today. Make sure you are subscribed. Go to all of your accounts, whatever computer you use. Make sure that you are subscribed and go back and comment on this video. We're not going to have Wages World tonight. We were not able to get him on. Again, he's been having a lot of stuff. He's busy. But again, we'll most likely have him on tomorrow. We already had several kind of power glitches here, but I don't know. I'm going to try to catch the auroras tonight. I'm actually might be driving up to try to get some of that on video if I can. If you are local and you have issues, please let us know. Again, if you want to submit videos, tomorrow's the show to do it for. Tomorrow, we are going to be using the viewer-submitted videos and pictures. So you can go to marfugelnews.com/playmyvideo. Again, that's marfugelnews.com/playmyvideo. Dex?
Adam, if you can't find it, it's in the menu at the top of the webpage now. So even easier. If you forget, just go to the website, click the menu, play my video. Submit it.
Oh,
yeah, tomorrow's unidentified. So if you got stuff in the sky, you got UFO sightings, strange lights, any of that stuff, ideally the best way to share it.
Okay, so for whatever, it's right here on the website. It's the very one. It's sign up for alerts, contact, play my video. Just click on that, and you'll be able to get there. Thank you, Dex. That's awesome. That makes it way easier. And then our platform is getting built. Thank you guys all for your financial support as well. We are building basically a replacement, a Discord that can't be deleted. So thank you guys, everybody that's stood behind us through these crazy times. All right, Dex, it is time to go. Tomorrow we will have a packed show. We have submissions. We have callers. We're going to have everything tomorrow. So make sure to be there.
Great show, brother. Much love.
All right, guys, it's officially time for the shoutro. It's not an outro. It's not a shout out. It's a shoutro. Everybody did not go. Gotta bring it right back in a good show with the Don No Good Al. Everybody oat smell going back round and it's out flip out sell. With the wind going back round, everybody really wanna hear that sound. Lenny on the cash with the stripe 1000. Van Gogh fight for everybody hounding. Going right back now, we astounding. Respiratory Jamie, Cindy Adams, going right back. Thank you, JM by 53. Thank you, Cutthroat Mom, Holly Buskirk, Albert Fickix. Come back and kick it. Got the Dowski going right, show me. Going with the Lord Griffith and we know me. Oh. Got to feel Billy R. Jackson, Laura Griffith, Van Gogh 54. Tall drink water and everybody know Angela got there before. Oh, gotta go back down. Oh, gotta go back down. Bring it right back up again. Gotta bring the Laura Griffith, everybody know. Oh. yes, with the sample be saved by grace, right but next. 16 going back around. By the way, my MPC-1 completely died when the power went out. Gosh, that sucked. Got the jammer one, gotta bring it back or something. My friend says in the ball is fungus. Everybody on the bungus.
Chasing life, tall to the water, B.S. Alfred Phillips and Sylvia Mendoza.
With this Applebee, post Shaggy. Bonus fungus going by. Jack her Nixon, everybody act like you never heard before. Nope. So weird. Everything got messed up with that power outage. Just my MPC-1 really, but should have saved all that, damn it. No. No, that's not it either.
4. You need 4.
Nope. All right. Somebody said beatbox on the fly. Let's just start over. No, it's not there. jolly moly. Patricia Rivas, thank you. Merry Christmas. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Johnson, just absolute amazing, just insane. You are nuts. Thank you. I am making you a song right now. Thank you, Johnson. Appreciate it. Thank you, everybody on the leaderboard, which I'm going to make sure to shout out. And thank you. By the way, if you don't know what this is when I have fun. But it's also when I say thank you to the people that matter most. You. Thank you, Johnson. That really does mean a lot. Again, at this point, anybody can tune out. Those of you that stick around, thank you. Johnson, we really thank you. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 everybody walk down the street, all the same blood inside of us. Doesn't matter, all the same. Professor Drew and the rest of you, Jack, Johnny, 77 and Paul, shake that. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la la la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Mystery on the rocks, truth is out there, Jim Jam. Got to keep it all the same, and we've gotta keep this game. With that Shanku and Zuki Perkins on the rise, and I guess they're gonna peach and Maggie all the way all time. And everybody knows that we're gonna be okay. Everybody knows it will be okay. Everybody knows that we won't say. Jack on Chinese Visa, and everybody's so bizarre. Janet Mars and I got to bring it all the way bar. Truth is out there, bonus 5, and oh yes, it's it's a bona fide. It's gonna bring it back in a fight. Nobody got time for that. Be the light and be the candle. Yes, we can all handle doing something for someone other than ourselves. Slick shoe and Dumbo, regarding with regard. I like the way everyone went down when it all ended and we heard that sound. When the alerts went off and the cell phones buzzed. It was a short period, but that's what we was. We were united for about 12 minutes, and then it all went dark. Then it all went dark. Everybody saw the end of it all. Mr. TM and they all saw the song. Kazim got my Mustafa, gonna bring it back like a Mr. Jafar with the life outside the box, and the life is better on that still tonight, and it's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. Everybody knows that we've got to go home. I'm just not gonna get here, and I'm not gonna be alone. So I've got some serious shout outs to make. Tonight's absolute supporters, thank you guys. Saved by Grace, thank you so much. Chasing Life, thank you. Johnson, number 1 with 11,000 lemons. Jeez, Louise, Jeezy, Peasy. That can't even be right, actually. Holy moly. Johnson, thank you so much for your massive support tonight. The truth is out there. You overdid yourself tonight. Absolutely nuts. Stormy weather. Wow. Incredible. Number 3. Better together, stormy weather. Gonna bring it back on down. Going right and you're right now. Back down. Gives a minute in the subculture, everybody hot now. Oh, now you gotta bring it up now. With the Angela Skinner and Nelly on. Leo God. Garcia, everybody going belly. I don't really want to go back with the Phil Billy. To the W, going back now, and the true to the love with the Michael on the door room. Gotta get it in the zone. Hot lot with the Christina Leha. Gonna bring it right back now. Say ha ha. With this slick shoe on the hell yeah, gotta bring it right back. And then gotta say I'm mad. Oh, hey Carolyn Lowe, thanks for being here, Tony C. And the Apple Buzz Dick, oh there, gotta bring with the whoops now. With the 9 followers and the cutie pie, Angelica, gotta write. Oh, nana haka. Everybody really wanna go saved by grace. Everybody wanna go back and save face. Hey, alien believers, you're out there. And you also with a good with the emojis, with the gem, Lori D. Gotta go back to and everybody now. Everybody knows me with the EMP and the CME. Gotta bring it right back now to Sylvia Mendoza. Thanks for all of your support. I'll never get closer than the love that I feel from the Marfugo family. Sean Coon, Patricia Reva, Stone Master Kevin. Got a Randy Reba and Natasha Stevens, Dwayne Johnson Jr. and even Steven. Going right back now. Go. Everybody know when you don't know. Everybody know when you don't know. Everybody know when you don't know. Everybody know. It's hard. Oh. Johnson. Oh, Johnson. I said Johnson. Johnson. Weather, thank you, Johnson, thank you. Truth is out there. They act like they don't care. That truth is out there. The truth is out there. Got the tiny sea, Bill up breaking wrist with the lighthouse side and orderlish. And tiny info and the info max. So info, everybody gotta get the dads. Oh, in the bone with the bones, and it gotta bring it right back now. In the inner zone, the truth is out there with the bones fighting 3-3. Everybody really loves going back, CC. Hey, with the Rambo toe, do it all like you know, everybody know. Everybody know with the red kill R. Bring it right back like she is the star. Everybody is better on stills, and the life is just genuinely better on stills. Veteran Steve, thanks for the same gang. Thanks Pam and Gun Girl 777. Even though you're not here, I'll still shout you out with much cheer. Life is better on stills, hard than I get it. And chasing life like you're never gonna get it. And I gotta go right back with the Lori D. It's gonna be also delicious like a cookie-licious with the lady green eyes and the greeny-eyed news. And I'm gonna bring her right back now, making stews like a all soup in a hooroo. Huru TV, that is with the Kula Mundo. Gonna bring it on the Dundo, Gundo, like Segundo, maybe on the second, or with the Carolyn Low. Bring it right back like it gotta go now. And if you type faster, I would have more to work with. With the Adam go, Adam, and bring it right back with the heart emoji. Not I'm gonna all go mad like an anatomy. Gonna go do it like I just don't see, like a tiny seed. That's all I gotta say. And I'll bring it right back like Legiona Permesse. Gonna bring it with the Sherry out person. Gonna bring it back with the Shandor High. And I'll bring it right back down, do it every day. I'm gonna bring it around now, I say. Feel deadly, got to silly it up. A big life mark, I go now. cook, are you absolutely right? With the Jimmy Shitty and everybody on the site. Gonna bring her on the walk with the big old peel eye. And the Breckenridge corner on the 6 side. Oh, gotta get her down to 80 or 1880 and the ceiling on the Monica. Gonna bring it by with the save by grace. Gonna do it like I never did a back in the day. And the jump roll on the Michael. Gotta bring it down in the Michael. Gotta do it down like a psycho. Gotta bring it right back, Michael. Gotta get it down like a toys like Tycho. Gotta do it like a Bigo. Here though I'm about to go back round, oh, on the stereo. Ha! Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Hey, now you gotta hit it up now. David on the panorama, everybody go now. Hey, gotta go in the back now. Going right back like a goodie Angelica. Do it every day like I'm about to hit a Canada. Boom, I'm on back, sing I'm on back, a Danica. Boom, everybody hit it up. Boom, when it hot, then I got Jen Wisconsin. In a Wisconsin, gonna bring it right back. And everybody full of sin. Tiny on the seat, and then everybody got gin. Or maybe it's that juice, and I gotta get a brick bop, beat bop, beat bop, beat bop. Maybe with the beatbox, beat bop, beat bop. Maybe with the electronics, gotta do it with the Apple Box 6 like an electronics. Oh yeah, duba abba. I'm a better, bring it on the back now. A woman full of class, go right back like a barefoot lass. Is then a practice and mark rate on a dumb masses and on a play. Oh, gotta bring it back like a deep turn. I got it over effort. I know more. I say yeah. Patricia Rivas, thank you. Thank you all. You're all very special. Gotcha! I'm literally dancing like a lady. 6 shoe going back and running out here. Gotta get my hard dose of the vitamin D. And the gyrus, stopping a movie. Introduce an vibration. Going right back, no, play heads and gonna like I do. Everybody really wanna go back. Gotta get that moneta. Gotta bring it right up back like a dancer. I gotta go back like I'm a dancer. Go right back and I like just a mansa. Going right back like my wife romancer. Do call her back and everybody cancer. Gotta drop it on now, no. Do it everybody love now. With the Lori D and the bunny eye. Gonna bring out like a Tennessee and I say by the grace. Going back now, I'm a number has sick now. Bring it on and everybody loves you. Gonna bring it back around in a mess now. Everybody really wanna bounce up, hey. Stop tight like you never ever stop now. Northwest Olympics on the house now. Gotta bring it right back, everybody now. Everybody wanna dance to the mix now. Mike Dojo, Rome wanna dance now. Gotta bring it on the back now, get now. Gotta do it, everybody really wanna go. Wow. Everybody really wanna know. Wow. Everybody really wanna know. Oh. Everybody really wanna go. Wow. Everybody really wanna go. Wow. Everybody really wanna go. Nah. Everybody wanna that now. Just see that kid on the chart. Transpotted in and on everybody get it on. Hey, I'm about to go to work of the car. I'ma bring it right back like I'm not on fire. Going down the street, walking down with the fears. And got a boggy with the ear on the end. Oh, eat on the end, and I bring it right back. Do it right back like I never going back. With the drifting up there. Slick shoe out there. Hey, after party over at the mic. Go right back now in the order that I tell you. Oh, bring your own butt. Go right back and we ought to go. I need y'all. Wait. Hey. Bunny on the 533, on the 1 now. Going right back and you know that it is fun now. If you don't know, if you're not dancing, go right back and I'm a sinning on 30 yes and a dancing, go right back now. Did I add up back and know come on outside. Oh, a Christy Fallon, Mr. Jimmy Fallon, doesn't really matter cause I ain't not calling. Oh, gotta bring it on the back now, going on the bus, I'm going on a sack now. Oh, gotta go around the back now, when they on beat, and I got another funky on the beat with a cookie dishes. Bring it right back in all sort of dishes. Oh, eat it up like I got it on a mix. Okay, Stefan, I know. Just see the kid and I gotta bring it up now. With the honey and the best cut. Got me grooving in my kitchen, says Angela. Bring it right back and now we're on 7, y'all. Bring it on my Francis and a camera. Go on now, I grab it on a camera. Bring it all down and I know gotta stand him. Now wait, they saying his stamina. He's so low, gotta bring down a Bassima. Hope, now I am my passenger. Hope, gotta rewind it like a Jack Drum Nixon. I bring it on the sick, and I gotta bring it back with the beat on sick. And stop that beat like an old wise cow. Bring it right back like a big fat cow. Gotta bring it on a 10 minutes up now. It reminds me of that 90s song, or what was it? I don't know what, I can't think of the song. All right, you guys, we're gonna be hosting. To those of you that supported, I'm keeping track, you guys. Thank you. You guys have helped us build something that we couldn't build otherwise, so thank you. Johnson. Thank you. The Truth is Out There. Thank you. You guys sponsored the show. Gone Girl, Pam, Veteran Steve, all you guys out there. Kelly2334, everybody that supported this week. It's huge. Thank you.